We now know who President Trump is considering as his next chief of law enforcement, and it's a man who has done that job before. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts is here to tell us who that is from the North Lawn. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening to you. For the past several weeks, President Trump seemed in no hurry to replace Jeff Sessions permanently, even though he had all that criticism about the interim Attorney General, Matt Whitaker. But suddenly this afternoon, word that the president had settled on a candidate, one who has enjoyed broad bipartisan support. Sources tell Fox News that President Trump wants William Barr to be his next Attorney General. If nominated, it will be a second tour of duty for Barr. He served as Attorney General during the George H.W. Bush administration. A whiz kid from Columbia University and George Washington University Law School, Barr was just 42 when he first became Attorney General. While President Trump doesn't know Barr, they do have one thing in common. Barr fully supported the president's decision to fire FBI Director James Comey last year.
The president is entitled to his choice as FBI director. And while I admire Jim Comey a lot, I think he's contributed a lot to the country. He's enormously gifted. He crossed the basic line back in July, a fundamental line in the department.
As the president looks set to give Barr a thumbs up, the stock market turned thumbs down today on the U.S.-China trade relationship. The reason for the swoon this time? The arrest Saturday of Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou. Huawei is China's largest telecom company and America's chief competitor for new 5G systems that will revolutionize everything from cell phones to self-driving cars to robotic surgery. At the request of the United States, Meng was arrested by Canadian authorities in Vancouver. The DOJ has been investigating Huawei's possible violation of Iran sanctions and wants to extradite Meng. China is protesting loudly.
China demands them to immediately clarify the reason for the arrest, release the detainee, and safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of the detainee.
The arrest was made on the same day President Trump was having dinner with Chinese President Xi Jinping in an attempt to move U.S.-Chinese trade relations forward. The White House says President Trump did not know about the arrest before his meeting with Xi. National Security Advisor John Bolton on NPR today.
Well, you know, there are a lot of things that are pending at any given time. You don't know exactly what's going to happen in terms of a particular law enforcement action.
Bolton added that Huawei has long been suspected of involvement in intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer on behalf of the Chinese government.
I think this is going to be a major subject of the negotiations that President Trump and President Xi Jinping agreed on in Buenos Aires.
Huawei has been attempting to dominate the global 5G infrastructure, but fearing everything from intellectual property theft to outright espionage. Some countries, including New Zealand, Australia, and Britain, are either eliminating or limiting their use of Huawei products. No word yet on whether Meng's arrest is going to have any impact on the pending U.S.-China trade talks. Brett?
John Roberts, live on the North Lawn. John, thanks.